You muted.
Hey,
There you
hey, everybody. Welcome. Happy Friday. Happy 5th of July. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of the Bloodline Effect. If you are here, I appreciate you being here. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. It means a lot. Thank you so much. And I'd like to give a shout out to my co-host, Big Oos, Mitch Kofsky. How you doing today, Mitch?
Oh my God, you actually did it. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. And here's this for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Acknowledgement. We acknowledge right off the bat here. Acknowledgement. Acknowledge Roman.
Well,
We're going to do it
I'm
right off the
being
bat.
forced. It's not me. I'm kidding.
Says the co-owner of the network. Says the co-owner of the network. I'm forcing.
Right? Right.
Yep. We acknowledge one's in the chat on the way in, if you please. Thank you. Welcome. Hey, Brooke. Hey, Jamar. Hey, Wesley. Hey, y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. Listen, y'all, we're going to get right into it tonight. We have a lot to cover. I just want to say, first of all, do y'all like my shirt? I finally got my needle mover shirt. All right. Of course, we're here. The tribal chief. This is my favorite shirt of his because it's just he's still the needle mover because he's still his name is being chanted every week. He's still the needle mover. Okay, and still doesn't need a title to be a needle mover, as we have seen. All right. So we have so much to talk about, y'all. Like the last few weeks, has it not been crazy? I hope everybody had a good 4th of July. But yes, so I'm gonna get straight into it. I do have a very long list. Like, look, y'all, I have notes upon notes upon notes, a long list of things to talk about. So since the last time we were here,
Thank you,
we have
Wesley. Thank you.
he's right. He's right. Thank you, Wesley.
Thank you.
We're
Thank
honest
you for that.
people. On the island of relevancy, we're honest. We keep it real here. We're honest. We're not liars. We just speak the truth, you know? So since since we last saw each other, we have seen the chaos. My goodness. A new member added in Jacob
Mhm.
Fatu. We've had a wise man be literally kicked out, physically and theoretically kicked out. Uh, we, we might have a non-official member of the bloodline, non-official in a former member of the bloodline in Jay Uso that might be winning Money in the Bank. I'm rooting for him. Yeet. And we've got a lot going on with SummerSlam coming up. We're wondering when are we going to see Jimmy back? When are we going to see Roman back? So let's get into it. So let's start with the addition of Jacob Fatu. So Jacob Fatu is a force to be reckoned with. If you don't know who he is, if you didn't know who he was before, I'm sure you know who he is now. That dude is a beast in every sense of the word. He came in like a hurricane, debuting at Clash of the Castle. If you see me looking off to the side, I'm looking at my notes over here to kind of keep myself on track. So what are your thoughts, Mitch? Because when I saw him come in like a wrecking ball, I was like, oh my God, everybody's in trouble. What do you think?
I loved it. I honestly loved it. It was perfect for him to come in and show his skills to the people that don't know him. To be honest, I didn't know about him. So I went back and did research. I did my homework for this. I know you're proud. I did my homework. So this guy's a pure talent. He's a pure talent. Like everything a part of his game just screams Samoan, and I can't wait. And his entrance is something else. He got the
Oh,
Triple H spotlight on the ring. He got the Triple H spotlight in red. So, yep.
absolutely. I agree with you. He was definitely worth the wait because we
Mhm.
heard as back as early as like what April time frame that he had been signed, and everyone is like, when is he going to debut? When he's going to debut? They kind of swerved us a little bit when Tamaloa came because I think a lot of people were expecting him then. They swerved us a
Mhm.
little bit, but for those that saw the documentary, you remember Roman said he said in that documentary, if we can swerve them, we've done our job. And I think they mean that. They really mean that personally, deep in their hearts. Like they're not messing around because they always find ways to keep us guessing with this storyline, which is why we're here. This is why I just wanted to say for those that are new, the reason why I decided to start this, Mitch definitely gave me the confidence to do it.
Okay.
He
Okay. I
did.
was like,
He
wait.
did. Because I had the desire in my spirit, but he gave me the confidence to do it. It was lingering in the back back of my mind, because I'm a huge Bloodline fan, as people know, huge Roman fan. But Mitch was like, you should do a podcast about it. And I was like, you know what? You're right. Because this isn't just about bloodline worship. This isn't just about, oh, hail the bloodline. No, no, no. This is about talking about the deeper effect that the members of the bloodline have had on the world of wrestling, not just present day, but over the last 40 plus years. It's undeniable that the members of the Samoan dynasty, the Anawai family, the Fatu family, they have they have impacted wrestling in ways that can't re-erase. Like, you can't deny it, not just in America but abroad, and in so many ways that we'll continue to see for years to come, because as we know, they are a very plentiful family. The fertility is not an issue. We have a lot of members, present day and to come, because there's a lot of children. So this is going to keep going. Like, someone could keep this podcast going until we all have great 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 grandchildren. So that's why I decided to do this, because I think that the impact of the bloodline and of the Samoan dynasty cannot be understated. So this isn't just here to worship. This is here to acknowledge the impact that they've had. And so what he just said, Jacob Fatu, he has made his name known all over the world. You know, from Japan, different promotions, finally making it to WWE. And since we're talking about that, if there was any doubt about his power, seeing Paul Heyman go through the table, what'd you think, Mitch? I was stressed. Poor Paul.
When I saw that, because I was live streaming, so I didn't get the chance to see it live. So I watched it back, and I'm like, this guy is 58 years old and up, taking bumps like this. And I don't know if anyone noticed this. He forced himself not to sleep. He forced himself not to go to bed for 2 to 3 days beforehand, so he can actually get the look and feel like he's about to get kicked out. He didn't want, and then he acknowledged Roman Reigns. So it's just like perfect, pure perfect. And in Madison Square Garden, like, you can't make this up. You can't. Shout out
Cannot.
to Earl Cole, actually. He was there. So it's just like, wow.
Yes, cinema. His Paul's commitment. I've said this before. Paul is a better actor than half the people in Hollywood. This man is incredible. Like, the method acting, like not sleeping and looking the part. Now, he was successful. He looked terrible, red eyes, looking disheveled, looking haggardly, gray coming in. He looked so bad that he genuinely did look like a man who is stressed, which he was. And the fact that he stood 10 toes down, y'all. He did not fold. Everybody was acknowledging one by one. Tongaloa acknowledged Tongaloa acknowledged Jacob Fatu, acknowledged Solo. Everybody is acknowledging Solo as a tribal chief, and Paul said, "No, nope, sorry. What did he say? He said, I acknowledge that you are not my tribal
Yeah,
chief." And of
yeah,
course, Solo didn't like that, and the mollywhopping of Paul began. I have so much. Now, I get it. We know that this, for the people who are be like, don't they know that wrestling is fake? I feel like there's always that weird person out there.
it always
There's
is.
always that
Always.
person. We know we're big boys and girls. We understand. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. But let's still acknowledge his commitment to this, and the fact that, like you said, this man was willing to go through an announcer table, Samoan spiked. Like, he was getting tore up. He left in the ambulance, and it looked pretty realistic to me.
It looked pretty damn realistic. And I want to bring up the fact that you said about Hollywood. Like, has this guy been in movies at all? Can someone please tell me? Has he been in movies? I don't think so.
He should be, because he does this thing where he is so good at making you believe every emotion that he's trying to convey, like stress, anxiety, pain. Like, every week when they're chanting Roman's name, and he's I no one wants Roman more than I do. And every wrestler does, like, they do their part. But some people are a little bit more believable than others. But Paul is just he nailed it, and to the point where you genuinely do feel sorry for him. And now it begs the question: if there is no wise man, who is going to take his place? If you have thoughts on that, I'd love in the chat you guys give me your thoughts. Will they even have no wise man? Will they be a group without a leader? Will they replace him? Mitch, do you have any theories on if they might replace Paul, who might take his place?
I actually do. When you go back to when you think about Umaga, and I actually have a story about Umaga I will bring up in a second, but Amado Estrada, I don't know if any of you guys remember who that is. He was just the hype man for Umaga. He was just the guy that would yell his name over and over in the microphone. That would be great. And especially, there's rumors that Zillifat too may join the bloodline, and that's Umaga's son or something in that nature. So it's just like, I don't know, but Omaro Estrada. So let me tell you this story because I know you really wanted to hear this. So
I do.
it was in Madison Square Garden. Okay. I'm a Make a Wish kid. I'm gonna throw that out there. I'm a Make a Wish kid. So my wish was to meet John Cena, my goat, my hero at the time, still is. So we were backstage, Madison Square Garden. So I met everybody you can think of. I met Mark Henry, Sandman, Shane McMahon, on and on. And I see someone as I was talking to Linda McMahon, I see someone, and he goes, "Hey, what's up, guys?" And I was like, "He speaks English." That was Umaga. I was like, "Oh wait, he speaks English," because I was so young. I didn't know. I didn't know because all I heard was just him yelling into the microphone. So I'm like, "Hey, he's real." I was like, "Oh shit."
That's an
Uh,
awesome story. That is, do you have like pictures from this? That's so cool.
oh yeah, I got pictures of. I met Stone Cold. I met. I go on and on.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that's awesome. You're living every like millennials childhood dream. That's
I mean,
amazing. That's
I
so
mean,
awesome.
they took me and my family in a limo to New York City, so they spent the whole day for us. Like they gave us
Wow.
money for food, shopping. We went to the NBA store because you guys know me, basketball not here. So we did that, hung out with family, Madison Square Garden. We went to Monday Night Raw the next night, and it was that same night when when they were taping a Saturday Night's Main Event. So
Mhm.
I got to see Saturday Night's Main Event and Monday Night Raw in the same thing. It was
Oh
when
man.
Randy Orton RKO John Cena on the chair, and I hated that. I was like,
Oh
oh,
man.
I hated that, but hey, it was a time I would never forget.
That's awesome. That is so
Yeah.
cool, man. That's beautiful. It's cool because I've never actually talked to someone who has had that experience. Like that's incredible. That's you need to hold on to that. That's you need to write a book or something. Like do something. Like
I actually
don't.
made a YouTube video when I first started about that.
Oh,
Like,
you did? I'm
go
gonna have to
back
go
to
back
my
and watch it.
channel. I'll go find it and I'll send it to you. So
Yes, please
once I find it,
do.
I'll send it to you. Yeah.
That is so cool. That is awesome. Well, is going back to what you said about Armando Estrada. Am I saying his name correctly?
Armando Estrada. Yeah, you got it.
He's one of those guys where when I was seeing people post pictures of him, I'm like, oh yeah, I knew his face. I didn't know his name.
Right.
It he could be someone. I'm not gonna lie. I'm definitely thinking Rikishi's gonna pop up somehow. I don't know if he's
Yeah.
gonna be the wise man per se, but I feel like he's gonna pop up because we've been seeing some real cryptic tweets and some, some stories on Instagram that are looking real like, he tweeted something like enough or coming
Mhm.
soon or something to that effect. We're
Yeah.
like, what are you talking about, Big Kish? What are we talking about here? What's coming? What you mean by that?
Right.
And the fact that, like you said, like Jay is basically the top contender to win for the men, and
Yeah.
Jimmy being gone, I feel like he's gonna pop up at Money in the Bank. I could be wrong because I did say he was gonna pop up at the Clash at the Castle, but we know he's the pop up king. He is a black
Yeah.
hoodie king. I feel like there's some black hoodies getting zipped up right now. I feel like he's gonna appear somehow, some way. So yeah, I think that they're hiring in our eyes, like as the fans' eyes, like they're hiring for the wise man. Who's it going to be? Will it
Yeah.
be Armando Estrada? Will it be Rikishi? Will it be someone else? There's so many members of the family. I am confident that it will be somebody. They got somebody.
They gotta pick someone, and I'm actually curious on who it could be. You know who else
Mhm.
I could think? It's just a sign in the dark. Why not make it like it's just fun and games? Naomi or something. Make it a female. Why not have a little spice to it? I think that would be
Now,
kind of interesting. That won't
that,
happen, but I think that would be a kind of a Naomi. Not oh my god, not Nia Jax. No, I'm just
Tamina.
saying Naomi. Tamina, yeah, sorry.
I knew you meant. That is a clever angle though, Mitch, because we had been saying that they should introduce a woman into the bloodline. That would
Yeah,
be clever. That could, I mean, hey, it's not unheard of to have a female manager. We got China. We got uh the what was his name? Andrade. Before his first go,
yeah,
Zelina. Remember
yeah.
when Zelina was his manager?
Yeah,
There's been many other female managers, so that's not unheard of. That is a unique take. You're the first person I've heard bring that up. I don't hate it. I'm like, hey, if we got to get a woman in there somehow, I'm not opposed to that. I like it.
I'm, I'm like, you got to spice it up somehow, and why not?
That's true because to this point, the bloodline has not had any female members, despite having legit female bloodline members. That we haven't had a storyline female bloodline member. So I
I
don't
mean,
hate it.
could it be the Rock too? I just feel like it could be the Rock as well, and I'm like, I don't want it to be, but it could be.
I know. I thought about that too, but I wonder because he's the final boss. Can he be the
Mhm.
wise man and the final boss at the same time? Or
It's the
he
Rock.
could
He can
be.
do whatever he wants.
That's true. Silly me. What am I thinking? You're right. Disregard. Strike that. You're absolutely right. He could do whatever he wants. You're right. He could. But then again, I mean, you're right. He's definitely going to pop up somehow. Absolutely. He is going to pop up somehow. But I'm curious if they'll give him that official title. Um, it remains to be seen. But I still maintain that I feel like, especially as this storyline rolls on, and Solo has now has the Ulafala. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. The
I
Ulafala,
don't know what it's called, but I think you're
the
right.
red. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that correctly. If I'm not, please correct me. But I think it's the pronunciation is the Ulafala. Um, actually wearing that, I'm like, oh my god, he's the actual tribal chief now. So if he's the real
Yeah.
tribal chief, then where does that leave Roman when he does return? Because Solo has said, I hate to tell you, but Roman ain't coming back, and we know that this is not true. But Paul was devastated, like absolutely flabbergasted when he said that. So it still remains to be seen when he returns. A lot of people are saying SummerSlam. A lot of people are saying it could be even later than that. What do you think, Mitch?
Who knows? Who honestly knows? I'm. You don't know. That's the thing. I love this. I love the unpredictability. Talk to Earl. I hate predictability. I hate it.
Same,
So when
same,
you get
same.
this, I'm like, it can go any way you want, and I love it.
Absolutely. I do agree with you. And I think that that's part of the allure that they do swerve us. And as soon as we think we know what they're going to do, they do swerve us. And somehow it still all works out. I do agree with you. I don't like predictability either. And it does remain to be seen. But I feel like now we can kind of swerve into speaking of predictability. This WrestleMania documentary, I would love to hear y'all's thoughts in the comments. I was underwhelmed, and I was mad because I had high hopes. We waited 3 months for this. I thought this was going to be a banger. Like I was seated, like sitting there waiting for it to come on. Like boom, let's go. What's this going to be about? And we see basically the same things that they've already showed us. I feel like they basically just extended the clips that we've already seen from the trailer and other, clips from what happened at WrestleMania. There from what I heard. Now, I did not rewatch it. I have only watched it one time. I did rewatch certain clips, but I feel like I did not hear anything that was like a bombshell revelation. Did you, Mitch? Did you hear something that you were like, "Oh my god, breaking news"?
No, I'm
Okay,
gonna be
so I'm not
honest. No,
tripping. If you
no.
did in the comments, please let me know because I do realize sometimes you do miss things. If you heard like something that was just an absolute bombshell that you did not know, please let me know because I did not. I felt like they could have kept that. I felt like it could have been a video package on Raw. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I just don't. I feel like if you're going to hype something up as a documentary, and another thing, normally WWE documentaries are excellent. Like all the ones that I've seen. This is the first one I've seen I was disappointed in. They're normally excellent. Like I'm normally like I had my hopes were high. The standard has been set. But this
Yeah,
I felt like it was very buttoned up, very PC, very
mhm.
sanitized. It felt like it was written by lawyers. Like the things that they were saying was very sanitized language, like we're not gonna say anything that could get us sued, very sanitized. Like, I don't know. I was just I want it better. What do you
Yeah.
think?
I want. I liked it just because I don't really watch documentaries. WWE. I'm not that big into that stuff, but I'm gonna try to be. Like I just watched the Rob Van Dam one a couple weeks ago. So I'm trying to get into that. So it was a different experience for me. Now it's they focus on Cody the most, obviously, which I'm like, okay, they didn't have a backup plan for him at that time. So you're like, okay, there's a swerve. The Rock, obviously, he said like we got to go this way. Seth, didn't get really much from Seth, did we? No,
No.
no.
We
That's what I was kind of shocked because I want to know about his whole WrestleMania weekend. That's what I want to know. Like from night one to night two, he was MVP
mhm.
of WrestleMania. If you like it or not, he is MVP. And then Roman, we heard nothing. Like it was just nothing.
The biggest letdown of them all, we didn't hear from John Cena. We didn't hear from The Undertaker. All they did was show us them coming out like, we've already seen that. Give us
Yeah.
more. They gave us nothing. It was giving nothing, as the kids say. Like, it was giving us nothing. Oh,
Um.
hey,
Uh,
Uh.
Hello.
Earl. Hey,
Earl.
hey.
How you guys
So
doing
you're
tonight?
not. So
Happy
you're
We're,
not.
Friday. Happy Friday to you.
Hey, happy Friday.
Um,
yeah. Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
getting
Earl.
ready for Friday night SmackDown, and I thought I would pop in and say hello and show my support as always as a team player, as you know. Tonight is my final SmackDown on, assignment while I go on vacation. After tomorrow night, I'll be on vacation.
Hey.
So I'm taking a well-deserved break, and yeah, this has been a fun week for me. It's been a fun week.
Yeah.
I got my attendance award today for work, and
Nice.
so
Cool.
I'm very happy about that. Yeah, I'm very happy about that. And
That is
you
awesome.
guys are, yeah, and you guys are doing great, and everybody's doing great, and I hope you all had a great Fourth of July and everything else. So I don't want to cramp your style or anything. I just wanted to pop in and say hello and enjoy the rest of your evening and enjoy the rest of your show. And I'll be on the air in a nanosecond. So,
Thank you
Hi,
so much for
Earl. Thank
stopping
you for.
by. I hope.
th-
I'm sorry.
No, no. I was just saying thank you for stopping by, Earl. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you,
see
and
you
have a
later,
safe
Yeah.
guys.
vacation
Congrats.
and a good
Yep.
stream.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
I think he just. There we go.
Okay, there we go. Well, we
Yep.
had special guest appearance. I love that. I love that. I wasn't expecting her. I'm glad he stopped by. The people,
Yeah.
everyone here at the Hardcore Sports Network is great. Like very supportive. I love you guys. You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Earl, for stopping by. But basically, we were just saying that yeah, like we didn't hear from Stone Cold, we didn't hear from the Undertaker, we heard very little from Seth, and to me, the biggest ball drop of all is that we literally heard, Roman was in like two scenes with like two lines with things we've already heard him say. I'm like, now I no don't get me wrong. I understand this is Cody's moment. Like I think we all get that. We get it. He's had his moment. But how are you going to have a documentary about taking the title off of a man who's had the title for 4 years and not speak to him? Like what is that? It didn't have to be Roman. That could have been anyone. Anyone in that position, I would say that that's a huge oversight.
Yeah.
The it like how like because to me, how is the title important if you don't talk about, like, to me it diminishes the importance, right? Like why is it so important? Why is it such a big deal to get this title? Like at the
Yeah.
very end, like when it just went off, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like we already knew that. Like to me, I thought that was the thing that was missing. I've been saying this for months. That was the piece from WrestleMania that I really did not like. I felt like they just ended it. We haven't seen, Roman himself posted like a very short video the day after, but we've heard nothing. Like this was their time. This was their time to give us his input. And if he didn't want to, I will say that on the other side, if he didn't want to, I get it. I understand that. I'm sure he has his reasons, but to me it just felt very dry. I felt like we learned nothing. They spent more time talking about the okay, this was the pyro and this is the practicing the backstage entrances and stuff, and I'm like, that's beautiful, but couldn't we have done it? We
Gi-
could have dug a little
give
deeper.
me some. Yes. Give me some more. And you know
Yeah.
what was significant about this? The plate. They took Roman's plate off and put Cody's on there. I thought that spoke 1,000 words, but I haven't really thought about what you just said. I haven't really thought about, okay, what is Roman going to do? Like, he wasn't even in the backstage. He wasn't even Gorilla. And
No.
I remember, this broke social media when it happened. He was hugging Paul as they were celebrating. Like,
Yes,
that explains it all. That
it
explains it
does.
all right there.
It
Yeah.
does. And that's why when people, I feel like there's a little bit of revisionist history going on when people are like, oh, Roman passed the torch to him. Roman loves him. I'm like, the videos from social media showed a completely different story. Like the real actual fan videos, not WWE's own footage, but fan videos of Roman walking up the ramp looking hurt, like eyes
Yeah.
teared up, The Rock trailing behind him, everybody looking just completely deflated and disappointed. Now, yes, I understand they're doing their jobs, but that told a completely different story. We haven't heard his thoughts. Paul hasn't really spoken much about it. The Rock hasn't really spoken much about it because The Rock spoke more about decision making, but there was no commentary post match. Like, Cody has his moment in the ring with all his supporters, and then he takes a picture with Triple H, and then the credits roll. And I'm like, I thought this was a documentary. Like, I don't know. I just felt like they did not do a good job of explaining why they made this decision. We understand that there's the Cody, the Cody crybabies and the tweets and everything, but to me, I don't know. But this is my thoughts on that, Mitch. Now,
Go for it.
okay, it's 7:29. I'm trying to be aware of time. My
No, you're
thoughts about
good. You're
that.
good.
Can we all agree here, and this goes for everyone in the chat too? Can we all agree that there's been public outcry for people for the WWE to do a lot of things over the years? There's been a lot of groundswell support for different talents over the years. People asked for years and years for them to turn Roman heel, for example. They pushed him as a face against the will of the people for many years. There's been groundswell support, like in not even that long ago, Dana Brooke, like hashtag give Dana Brooke a chance. We've seen recently hashtag give King Coda a chance with Dakota Kai. We've seen lots of things over the years that they just basically ignored the people. So does anyone not find it very interesting that this is the time where they're like, oh, we got to change everything. We got to change everything. We got to make this guy the face of the company, even though we have no plans for what he's going to do, but make this guy the face of the company and put the jetpack on his back. Isn't that kind of interesting?
You know why it's interesting? Because it was involved The Rock. The Rock
Hmm.
doesn't like to be booed. He doesn't like to be disliked. He
That's
doesn't
true.
like that. So when you talk about like Dakota Kai and everything, honestly, I'm a huge fan of Zoe Stark. So I love that Zoe Stark was in there. I actually have
I
a
do
hot
too.
take.
I
Trish
like Zoe too.
Stratus. Trish Stratus is going to cost her money in the bank.
Oh
That's
no,
why.
I didn't even think about that. Oh no, you're right. And I like Zoe Stark too. I think she gets a lot of hate. I'm like, I like Zoe. Yes,
I
you're
like
right.
her too.
Doggone it. I didn't even put that
That,
together, but you're
that
right.
yeah, yeah. So I'm
You're
just
right.
saying, if it wasn't The Rock, they would not have turned this a big 180. They would
That's
not have
true.
done that. So it's all about The Rock, and I have to give him kudos here. The fact that he wanted to go a different route and push this storyline even more, I didn't think that this storyline could have gone like this. I didn't. How about you? Did you think the storyline was going to be as big as it is right now?
The bloodline or
Yeah.
Cody?
No, I'm
The
just okay to the WrestleMania 40 part. Let's just go to
Okay.
there. Did you think that it was going to be as big as it was?
I thought we'll see with the Rock versus Roman. Yes, I thought that was going to be fine, but you
Yeah.
are right that I did think I expected some pushback. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, even me at one point, I was like, that's kind of weird. Like, why did they push Cody for 2 years and not give him his moment? But the thing I find interesting about it, like you said with The Rock, it is kind of interesting how he wanted to control his narrative. He's like, no, if they're going to boo me, it's going to be because I want them to boo me.
Yeah.
I'm the final boss and I'm a heel. Like, that is just kind of funny to me. He's like, no, no, no. You boo me when I say to boo me. You boo me because
Exactly.
I intended for you to boo me. And that is interesting. And they're a business. They're gonna always do what's best for business. I get that. I know they have their reasons. And the more I thought about this, because at first I was so like salty. I'm like, oh, I just didn't like how they did it. But then I do take a step back and I say, like, again, with Roman, we know he always has his ongoing struggle with his health and everything. That's something that's not going away. He did carry the company on his back for 4 years. He has, I'm sure that he had his reasons. And the fact, the one of the things that really stuck out to me when in the documentary, like I said earlier, when he's like, if we can swerve them, we've done our job. He's in at the presser after night one when he said, we have layers to this. You just have to be
Mhm.
patient. Y'all don't even know what's coming. We have things planned that you would never expect it. I'm really listening to that, and I'm like, okay, well, I trust Roman. Okay, I trust Roman
Yeah.
more than I trust the rest of them. I'm like, okay,
Yes.
if Roman says he's got a plan, then I'm like, we'll just have to trust the process. Like those hair videos when it starts out kind of crazy and you're like, where are we going with this? But now we can see, we're kind of picking up steam because I feel like the first few shows after WrestleMania, I was like, okay, all right, it was a little dry for a little bit, but now, we're picking up steam. So, how
Yep.
do you feel present day about the state of the bloodline?
I'm intrigued. I like the way it's going right now, especially what happened with Paul Heyman. Because let's be honest, after WrestleMania, Paul Heyman's been carrying the storyline. He's
Mhm.
been bending his back over for this. So with Paul Heyman going through the tables now, out where's it going to go? You and I talked about this a couple days ago. Jimmy Uso's returning tonight. I can see him returning tonight
Oh, that's
and making
true.
that a 4v4 for Money in the Bank. And if Cage, Jacob Fatu can't go to Canada, they'll go still to 3-on-3. So
Hmm.
I think
That's
Jimmy's
true.
returning tonight. And if
That's
he
true.
returns tonight, I'm clipping this and I'll be like, I hate predictability.
That's true. And speaking of unpredictability, I am so glad they finally did this because I was like, when are we gonna get the hints of Randy
Yep.
versus Cody? Did you see
Right.
last week the way he was side eyeing Cody in that title? I was like, that's what I've been looking for. Give me,
Yeah.
I want to see that man get RKO'd so bad. Like, because I will, and I know I'm very critical of Cody, but I will give it to him. He is good at selling. He is good at making his beatings look realistic. Because some people don't sell. Some people they'll catch like the most vicious move and then they pop back up and you're like, what was that? No, he's good
Yeah.
at selling. And so in that sense, I do think it would be good if maybe if Randy Orton's real motives are revealed. What if it's no, oh, I'm not actually helping you. I'm just trying to get closer.
I did
Heel turn.
not expect that. I did not expect that because SummerSlam's around the corner. Now it comes down to this. If the Bloodline wins, I can see Solo Sikoa pinning Cody. If that happens,
Mm.
you're gonna have Cody versus Solo Sikoa for the title at SummerSlam, and that's
Hmm.
when Roman's returning.
Oh
So
yeah.
this match can go in all sort of directions.
That's true. That's true. You're absolutely right because you mentioned Zilla Fatu, and there's another Fatu, one of Rikishi's other sons. I can't remember his name off the top of my head because we know he had a lot of kids, but one of his other
It's so
sons,
funny.
you're scrolling and they're like, this one, it might be him. I do feel like we are going to see another member come through somehow, some way. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I just feel like you said, with Paul being gone, we've got to add more levels of chaos.
Yep.
So we've got to definitely start getting the other team going because you're right. Like we got time, we got the solid bad bloodline, if you will. When are we going to get the
Yep.
good bloodline? Like they got to get that rolling because SummerSlam is in less than a month now. So it remains to be seen what they're going to do
Actually,
with that.
Martina. Oh, wait. Hold on. I'm going to share my screen because I actually have the family tree of the bloodline. I actually
Oh, I
got it.
love this. Please,
So I got it. Here, let me show you it.
please.
I completely forgot I had it. I
It's so
completely
good.
forgot.
It's so
All right,
good.
I
And
gotta
I
find it
will say,
first.
oh no, while
Give
you're
me a
looking,
sec.
no, you're fine. While you're looking, I just want to say for those that are listening, if you are really a true Bloodline fan, or honestly, even if you're just intrigued by the bloodline, I would highly recommend from my research, because I do like to know what I'm talking about. The best breakdown I have seen of the Samoan dynasty, this tree you see on your screen, I personally feel like is Wrestle Talks documentary on the bloodline. I've watched it
Yes.
and I learned some things I didn't know. It really breaks down every picture you see, every person in this tree, they break it all the way down and it's absolutely fascinating. They're not paying me to say that. Purely use it to do my research so I can have educated opinions. Go watch it if you want to know how all these people are related.
Oh, good. Can I have that money then? If they're not paying you, I'll take it. I'll take it. I mean, hey, I'll
I mean,
take
they
it.
can. Don't get me wrong. I am open. My account is open.
There you go.
I am open to receiving payment. I am not presently receiving payment.
There we go. There we go. All right, keep going.
You're right. I don't want to block my blessings. Like, don't get me wrong. Don't want to block my blessings. You are more than
Yeah,
welcome to
right.
pay me. But yes, what you see on your screen here, everybody, for those that are watching, this is the massive actual bloodline family tree. And it's important to note that this is not everybody. I just want to put that out there. This is not everybody because when you really zoom in, you'll see something like, for example, The Rock, he has remarried. His current wife is not on there. His younger children are not on there. And the like the Usos, like they're the children of a lot of these people are not on there. So keep in mind there's a lot more people than what you see because most of these men and women have children of their own, children, stepchildren, grandbabies, et cetera, et cetera. So there's probably a good 50 more people.
There he is.
Yeah, there's like they still have Danny Garcia, his ex-wife. But yeah, like that's just one example. I'm sure there might be some other people on there that have remarried,
Simone. I forgot that Simone is part of NXT.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I completely forgot about that.
How?
Wow.
How you forget this?
I don't watch. I don't watch NXT.
I get it. I've just
I
only
don't watch
I get it.
NXT.
I
Sorry,
get it. I get it.
but
Yes, she is in there.
yeah. But Butterfly. Just Google it. That's it.
Oh,
Blades
yeah,
help me. It. Just Google
yeah.
it.
If you literally just Google like Samoan bloodline family tree, Samoan dynasty family tree, something along those lines, trust me, it'll pop up. This is what was shown on the screen at the WrestleMania press conference.
Yes.
When it all went down, basically The Rock showed this and is like, you might not like it, but you will respect it. And yeah, that honestly, that really just opened up my eyes. Like I said, we know this family has a lot of members, like everyone knows that, but I don't think a lot of people realize how deep it goes. And that's why I mentioned that Wrestle Talk documentary. I know we only got a few more minutes.
No,
Just want to
we
give
got
final
10. We're fine. Keep going.
I just want to give some final thoughts. So I have been I don't know if people have noticed, but people have been real sassy, a lot of tussling on the timeline lately about uh Cody opinions. And I just wanted to say, and I have said this so many times, but I will say it once again. When I am critiquing Cody, I am not talking about Cody Runnels, the man. I'm sure he's a great human being. I'm not talking about him outside of WWE. I'm talking about WWE, the Nightmare, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, his gimmick, and how I'm critical of it. And basically, I just want to talk a little bit about some of the critiques that I have about his reign. And I'm sorry, you want to say something?
No. Butterfly's
Oh,
leaving, so I was just
thank you,
saying bye.
Butterfly. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I see there's 52 of you here. Thank you guys for being here. So one of the things or not one, I have a whole list. Trust and believe. I have a list. Some of the reasons why Cody's reign, I hate saying that, but just kind of, I feel like it kind of irks me is because I mentioned earlier, I feel like there's been some Roman Reigns erasure that like all the contributions that he's made to this company over the last 4 years, carrying the company through the pandemic, carrying the company through its dark periods, carrying the company through legal allegations, through the merger with TKO, through the allegations with Vince, and somehow still keeping the eyes on the product. That's not an easy thing to do. Like, don't pay attention to this over here. Keep the eyes on the product. I don't feel like he gets enough credit for that. And I'm not saying we need to worship Roman, but I think it's very interesting that we don't acknowledge that Cody did come into a silver platter. He came into something that was already very well made.
I mean,
I
Roman
don't.
did too, if you want to keep it a buck. With
Did
The
he
Rock and the family. With The Rock and the family, I mean, come on.
though? Okay, bloodline wise, I can agree with you on that. But they treated him like crap for years, though, bitch. It didn't
The
really help him for a
fans
long
did.
time.
The fans did, yes. The fans did, I'll give you that. I was just talking about the company as a whole. I was talking about the company. I was not talking about the fans. The fans, including me from time to time, treated him like crap. I'll admit it. I was wrong. But I was
I can
wrong.
see where you're coming from. Like, I'm not going to say his lineage hurt him. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it worked against him or anything like that. But I am saying that I feel like, I guess my thing is, I feel like even to this day, I feel like Cody still needs the bloodline to be relevant. Because if your story is finished, why are you still talking about, oh, I beat the head of the table and you're just a seat filler to Solo? I'm like, I feel like the bloodline is still carrying him. I do
Yeah.
understand every hero needs a villain. I get that because I know people will bring that up. Every hero needs a villain, but why has his story not changed? I thought he finished his story. Right? Yes, I finished my story.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
why do you still have the same people by your side with KO and Randy? Why has no one turned on him? Why does he not have why is there not more of a plan? And I guess this is something from the documentary. Like I said, if he is the guy, this is your guy. Why is there no plan for him? Why does he not have more people challenging for the title? Like you're the number one guy, you're the face of the company. He should be a wanted man. He should have a target on his back. Everyone should be jumping him. He should be watching his back. He should be walking around like this. Everyone should be wanting that title. It's the most prestigious, right? Right?
Is it either that one or is it the one that Damian Priest had?
I rest my case because you're exactly right. You're exact you walked right into that exactly the way I wanted you to. You're exactly right. At this point, Damian Priest's title is more prestigious. And yes, I do think Seth deserves his credit for that. I do
He's gonna
believe
win
that
it.
yeah, he is. I do believe that he has he they basically they've maintained the prestige of that title. But somehow
Yes,
Cody has not maintained the prestige of the undisputed title. Do you see what I'm saying?
I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
It's just interesting, just interesting. Moving on. Moving
I
on.
can't believe I fell into your trap, though. God freaking dang.
But you said exactly, but you're right. You didn't lie. You said exactly the way I feel that the heavyweight title is all people are talking about. Nobody's even challenging for the who is
I mean,
Cody's next challenger?
it's gonna be after this whole thing. That's why I think Solo's gonna pin him.
True. You
That's
think
why I think
not for the
Solo
title
is.
though, right?
No, I'm talking about Money in the Bank.
Oh
I'm talking
yes.
about for
Yeah,
Money
yeah.
in the Bank. If
Yeah,
Solo wins, he'll become the next challenger. But
yeah.
if it's Randy Orton turning, those are the two X factors right there.
That's
Those
true.
are it. If Randy Orton turns, he's the next challenger. If it's Solo, he's the next one.
Absolutely. I agree with you on that. And
Or it could be The Rock too. You
he
never
could
know. They're keeping it.
you're
They're
right. We
keeping
never
it for
know.
him.
That's true. Absolutely. I think that and this is something that I'm sure people have seen this because it's gone viral. Cody made the comment talking to Sports Kita how he doesn't think Roman hates him and he doesn't hate Roman. He wish he could sit down and talk to him. And I'm like, it just feels like Cody, like, when are we going to move on from this story that you finished, sir? When are we going to move on from your story that you say you finished? You did it for Dusty. You did it. You got it. Boom. All right. So let's move on because looking at Roman, the juxtaposition of him against Roman, remember at the press conference, I just keep going back to that press conference after night one. He was like, boom, I'm already thinking about WrestleMania next year. I'm already thinking about the next one. Boom. On to the next, on to the next, on to the next. And I
But
think,
he's not. There's nothing here.
hmm,
There's nothing going on next. Let's be honest.
for Cody?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I was
I
talking about
agree.
for Cody. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. But that's the problem. You see what I'm saying? You're saying exactly the way I feel. You're just using like different words. That I
Yeah.
agree.
But
Like, why is there no
actually, I
plans for
just
this man?
remembered this. I just remembered this. So for the title, that's one thing. Who's the next challenger? That's one thing. But it goes to Survivor Series War Games. That's what they're preparing for. That's what they're going to be preparing for. Old bloodline, new bloodline. We're going to get Sami Zayn there. If Sami Zayn, I think he's going to lose to a Braun Breaker. And then
Yeah,
insert Sami Zayn over to there. Jey Uso over to there. I go on and on, people.
that's true. The only way that Braun Breaker is not going to win that is if he like gets struck by lightning or some other natural disaster or like there's no way. Let me put it like this: if they do put Sammy over Braun Breaker, that's not believable, and they just need to stop playing. Because be so
Yeah.
for real right now. Like Braun Breaker is a freak of nature, true to his family. Like he is his uncle's nephew. That he at this point he looks and acts like he could just take out anybody. I do think that he should win. Storyline, realistic, however you want to play it, he should win. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, everything you said, like I agree with you, Mitch. Like I think that's the problem. Like, it just kind of bothers me. Like, why does your champion have no plan? I kind of feel like they set him up to fail. To be real with you, it's not entirely his fault. Like, don't get me wrong. When I say that, I'm not saying like this is his fault. I think Triple H needs to carry some of that blame too, because I just think it's very odd that you put the title in the face of your company, the hands of your company, and someone that you had no plans for. So they say, of course, they could be lying, but your words, you have no plans, and I quote. Um, Just an
It's
interesting
because
move.
they backed themselves into a corner because they're really going to go with Rock and Roman. And if
Yes.
they did go that route, we'll be talking about that for the next WrestleMania and the WrestleMania after that, after that, after that. I know you will love it. Like honestly, you will freaking love it. Would I?
It's true.
You're making me towards that way now. So
You're right. You're absolutely right. And I'm not going to lie. I will say there was a point where I did not want to see Rock and Roman because I feel like you know that meme where who was it that said like I apologize, I wasn't aware of your game. I think it's like
yeah,
Charles Barkley or somebody. I was or maybe Shaq. I was not aware of the Rock's game during WrestleMania. He showed out and he still got it. He was moving like a much younger man. I did not know if he was going to be like we know we've got Hollywood Dwayne and
yeah,
WWE Dwayne. I didn't know if he was going to be able to do it. To be real with you, I didn't know. But after his performance at WrestleMania, I do think he could. He still got it. I think he could do it. And I know
yeah.
we're running up close to the end here. I don't want to keep you guys too long. I know we got SmackDown coming. Final thoughts, Mitch. What you think?
What I think about this, what just the documentary in general?
Or just everything we've talked about today. Any final thoughts about anything?
Oh, okay, okay. Hey, this is a great show. It's only the second episode. You're gonna take this by storm. I'm telling you, I love this. Chat loves it. You have 55 people throughout the entire thing, but I just gotta say this one thing.
Uh-oh.
I'm just gonna do it here. Okay, that's all I gotta say. It is over. It
Dang,
is
my
over.
hand is getting blurred out. But
Yeah,
yes, my
mine
hand is
too.
up.
Mine too. So that's why I was
I know,
like up
right?
here. But
I know,
yeah,
right?
this is it. I thank you for having me on. I love it. Actually, guys, she's real quick, real quick. I asked if she needed a guest, and then she goes, "Thank you for volunteering." I'm like, "Wait, what?" So, yep.
That was what
I
you said, right?
yeah, it was. It was. We didn't get to the trivia question. Yeah,
Oh
well.
yeah. I know we only got 10 minutes till SmackDown, but of course, Mitch, thank you for being here. Thank you for
Of
helping
course.
bring this to life. Thank you, everyone in the chat, for being here. Everyone that's tuned in, everyone who's commented. I see Bloodline Horror, or your name. I will never get tired of her name. Bloodlines
That
Horror.
is
We got.
hysterical. I'm
She
sorry.
is so funny. She's the funniest girl on Twitter. She is so funny. Butterfly. I see Nor Nom
Here, I'm just.
Winch.
I got it. I
Last name
got you.
Minch. When is Roman
Yeah,
coming back? Man, your guess is as good as mine. You let me
yeah.
know.
No,
And we know, of course, I
I
forgot to
think it's
mention this.
SummerSlam.
Of course, we know he is still grieving. Rest in peace to Sika. I forgot to
Yeah,
mention that. That yeah, we know that he's grieving. But he's still a G because he was seeing kids like the next day at the children's hospital. I think
yeah,
it was I can't remember. It wasn't St. Jude's. It was a different hospital. I can't remember the name of the children's hospital, but he was there the next day greeting children. He is a strong man. I know that everybody is it built like that. I don't think I would be able to do that. I feel like that's the type of stuff I was getting at. I feel like he doesn't get enough credit for the stuff that he does, that he's just not as showboaty about it. He's not, people were tagging him. That's how we know about it. Other people were tagging him. He didn't boast about it. He didn't post about it at all. It's just things like that that I just have a lot of respect for.
Mhm.
Roman and the various members of the bloodline. But I'm gonna let y'all go. Thank you all for being here. But the conversation continues. This is going to be on YouTube. If you have questions, comments, concerns, please sound off. Please, if there's topics you would like to discuss, please comment. Please subscribe to my channel, Martina Talks Wrestling. Please subscribe to Mitch's channel. Please subscribe. Mitch, what's the name of your channel?
It's my name. It's like it's not that hard.
You mean where it says at Mitch Kofsky? That's
Yeah, that's it. That's
subscribe to
it.
his channel, subscribe to the Hardcore Sports channel. And like I said, thank you guys for being here. But I do want this to be a lively discussion. So if there's comments or topics you'd like to discuss, please hey Rana, thank you for stopping by. Like please submit them. Like I want this to be an open dialogue. I don't want it to be just me talking at you guys. I love feedback. And if there's some things you want to share, please let us know. I'm always learning. Thank you all for being here. I'm gonna let y'all go so you can go see SmackDown. Don't forget Money in the Bank tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Adjust for your
Yeah.
time zone. Let's watch. I'm actually going to be streaming that tomorrow as well. I know Mitch is too, right?
Yep, I'm gonna be back and forth between both streams. So you're gonna. I got
Don't be a
3
busy
streams
man.
tomorrow.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
3 streams tomorrow.
hardest
So
working man in show business.
don't say it. I mean, like, all right, guys, make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Martina, take it away.
All right, bye guys.
Have a good one, guys. And by the way, We them ones. There you go.